Here's a cuisine that's played second fiddle for too long. It's vibrant, spicy and full of tradition. Welcome to the delicious, distinctive world of Pakistani food. Join our food safari to learn how to make a classic biryani. The easiest steamed dumplings full of flavour with dal, succulent tandoori chicken and a delicious carrot halwa.
We've got the best of both worlds. We've got the Indian cooking styles, we've got spices from the Indian subcontinent, and we've also got the cooking styles and spices that you get from the Far East and the Middle East.
So quite distinct.
It is very distinct.
And how good is it?
Fantastic. I love it. Best food in the world.
Basil Daniell was born in Pakistan and moved to Australia, starting his restaurant Au Calcutta in the late 80s.
Sonya, just the pause only, okay?
It featured the food of the subcontinent and won him many awards over its 19 years. At home, he cooks a range of dishes learnt from his childhood in Lahore.
Pakistani food is misunderstood because the food that we see as being Pakistani food around the world is predominantly Punjabi food, which is very similar to Indian food. I guess the main difference between Pakistani and Indian cooking is we are meat-based and the Indians are a lot more vegetarian, but a big component of our cuisine is the pulses, is the breads and the rice, and they're the basics that we use, and add the red meats to it.
So in Pakistan, would you only eat Pakistani rice?
Well, I guess we do, because we consider Pakistani rice to be the best basmati rice in the world. It's slim, it's long, it's very aromatic, so why would we eat anyone else's rice? In our cooking too, we use a lot of ghee. Ghee is fundamental to everything. If you can't cook without ghee, so if your ghee is clarified butter, it's actually got a higher burning point. So when you do cook your spices, it's great because you can actually fry your spices a lot hotter and get the flavors out by using ghee.
So you can't have Pakistani food without ghee?
You can't, no, that's fundamental to our cooking. Ghee is number one. Next on the line is mustard oil. Well, we couldn't cook without spices. I mean, spices, I guess, makes our food of the gods. You got a whole range of spices here. You got the whole ground cumin, and you got cumin seeds. You got coriander seeds, and then you got ground coriander. And the best thing is don't buy large quantities, buy small quantities. Grind them, roast them as you need them, and unless you're going to use them within 2 or 3 days, just don't keep them. You just lose the flavours, the aromatics of the spices. Chili is one of the basic components. The Kashmiri chilies give a very subtle chili flavours without being very hot, whereas these ones here will blow your brains out. This is also, that's another one, we use chili seeds, or also used crushed chilies. We use cloves, a fair bit. Cardamom is one of the spices that are used in literally every recipe. You've got the green cardamom, which is fresh, gives strong cardamom flavours. Or your red meat curries, you've got the black cardamom. Now this, you use only very little amounts of it because they're extremely strong. One of the spice blends that's used a lot in our cooking is garam masala. We add together ground cumin, ground coriander seeds. They've already been roasted, and chili and cardamom, and we grind them, blend them together, and we make the garam masala blend, and that's used in a lot of curries and a lot of stir fries. These dried plums here, we use that in biryanis.
And what sort of flavour do they give?
So it's a good sweet and sour taste. Saffron, huge. We use saffron in curries, in biryanis, in our sweets. One of those subtle spices that we use in literally everything. Pomegranate. We use whole pomegranate and also dried pomegranate. Again, you've got that sweet and sour taste, which is beautiful, but it's got a nuttiness about it as well, which is magnificent.
One of the indicators of a really good restaurant is that it's packed with people who really know the food. The big draw card here for Pakistani expats and locals is a slow-cooked dish called halim, king of curry. Halim is a mix of pulses, grains, meat and spices cooked slowly, up to 6 hours to make a rich, thick, satisfying dish. Javed Chowdhury says he was the first in Australia to open a Pakistani restaurant. He's still going strong 30 years later. One of the dishes always on his menu is halim.
It's a true taste of Pakistan. You can get you go to any street, you will find out the halim.
Javed combines chana dal, barley, urad dal, red lentils and mung dal and leaves them to soak overnight.
Yes. I'm going to wash first.
In a large pot, he adds crushed garlic, blended ginger, water, beef and bones, and cooks for around 2 hours.
Put the lid on. That's it.
He then removes the bones and continues to boil until the meat starts to break down.
You can see that the pieces there.
Yeah, beautiful shreds of meat. It smells good cooking, doesn't it? Once the meat is blended completely, he adds ghee.
Just touch saffron.
Saffron colour. Beautiful yellow colour.
Yeah.
Ground fenugreek.
2 spoons of that.
Salt.
Now you can give me coriander, please.
Coriander powder. Cumin powder. Curry powder mixed with dried curry leaves. And a spice blend called chat masala, which is hot and tangy with dried mango powder and ginger. He then adds fried onion.
No, I should use the big spoon.
Ah. Does that double as a polo mallet?
Yeah. We just add the garam masala and that's it, it's ready.
And finally, a few spoons of garam masala right at the end for extra flavour.
Here we go, it's ready.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you, my pleasure.
It's served with green chilli, julienne ginger, coriander, fried onions and lemon slices. The queen of dishes is the impressive biryani. There are many versions of this spiced rice and meat dish across Pakistan. The best, it's said, comes from the province of Sindh.
In Pakistan, we have a marriage, we have a birthday party, we get together party everywhere. Especially, we make biryani. Everybody loves it.
So that's the dish of celebration?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sonya Kayani is a most unusual woman. She trained as a chef in one of the Pakistani 5-star hotels, joining a largely all-male kitchen brigade. In Australia, she heads the kitchen at O Calcutta and loves cooking traditional food for her family. Sonya cooks sliced onions until they're translucent. Adds the goat meat, which has been cut into cubes, minced ginger and garlic, and some natural yogurt.
This is yogurt. Some cloves, not too much because it's really strong flavor. Cardamom, green cardamom, maybe 5, 6. And this is a cinnamon stick. Good smell and looks beautiful, no?
That's lovely.
That's why I put it. Maybe 4 or 5.
Wow, that is a lot of cinnamon.
Yeah. And now I'm going to put red chili, turmeric, paprika, some bay leaves, fresh cardamom. This is cumin powder. And this is coriander powder. Cumin seeds whole and black pepper. This is black cardamom, but this is very strong flavors, so you cannot use too much. Just 2 or 3, that's it. This is dry plums.
Dried plums.
Yeah, and this is specially we use in biryani.
So sour and sweet at the same
Yeah.
time. Sonya then adds a cup of water, along with some large green chilies and a good sprinkling of salt. The curry cooks slowly for 45 minutes. In the meantime, she cooks basmati rice that she's soaked for half an hour at a rapid boil with a few cardamom pods. Half the rice is put to one side. The other half she adds a large amount of saffron to, which she soaks briefly in milk.
You have to show the yellow color. And you have to show the saffron as well. And you can see here, you can say, it's ready now. And this is tomato, coriander, mint, and green chili. I have to cook this 5 to 10 minutes. Look, so nice rice.
It does, and it smells really lovely with the cardamom in it too.
You feel hungry?
Absolutely. Oh, my mouth's all watering. Following the layer of goat curry, she adds a layer of the saffron rice,
Yeah.
handfuls of fresh mint leaves, chopped tomato and green chilli. Then studs the lot with boiled potato, another layer of plain rice, saffron rice, and onion rings fried to dark brown and caramelised. Then more mint,
That's the-
tomatoes and
For
chilli.
garnishing. And this is sultanas. Some almonds, walnuts and cashews.
God, that is amazing.
This is ready now.
Really?
And yeah,
And you serve straight away?
yeah, we can serve straight away.
Oh,
Kacambar, red onions and vinegar, some lettuce as well. And this is mint sauce. Here get mint and cumin and just a little bit salt. Right?
that is absolutely divine.
It's not spicy.
It's beautifully spicy. Pakistan is the birthplace of the tandoor, the cylindrical clay oven that spread from the Punjab region to Central Asia and across the Middle East. The intense heat is perfect to cook any meat and seafood, and the sides of the oven are where the flatbreads are cooked. Pakistan's divided into those who like bread with their meal and those who like rice. And if you have a tandoor, the bread that comes from it, crispy on the bottom, soft on the top, is the best thing in the world.
That's true.
That's true. The two main types of bread are roti and naan. Roti is an unleavened water-based bread, while naan is made with yeast and usually has milk or yogurt added to give it a richer consistency. For those who eat with bread, there's only one way to enjoy a Pakistani feast, and it's without knives and forks. Legendary fast bowler Waqar Younis, who now lives in Australia, loves eating with his hands.
It's nice, isn't it?
That's good.
It takes a dedicated cook to have their own tandoor, but Nigat Hassan says she and her husband entertain so much that their tandoor never quite cools down. The Aussie Pakistani community prize an invite so they can enjoy her tandoori chicken with mint sauce. If you're not lucky enough to have a tandoori oven, what's the next best thing?
Ordinary oven.
Really?
Yeah, ordinary oven, just like, you know, turn it all right.
Yeah? So an oven version compared to a tandoor version is how good?
Oh, you say 70% is all right. I get the plain yogurt. I add the ginger. Then I get the garlic paste. Then I get the tandoori paste, food colouring, cumin seeds, coriander powder, garam masala. And garam masala is quite strong flavour, so you don't put too much. Salt, you add your chilies. If you have too hot, then you can't really taste the other spices and it ruins the flavour.
So the art here is the right blend of spices?
Yeah. Then
turmeric?
just tiny bit. And you mix them really well. And with the Pakistani cooking, we usually mix it by hands.
Ah, good.
So that's if you really want to go through, you know, the spices into meat, you have to use your hands.
There's only, yeah.
If you marinate for 2 nights, it'll be a little bit better.
That smells so beautiful too.
And it's very easy.
It is, isn't it?
It's very easy. That's the easiest meal you can cook.
Tandoori chicken using thigh fillets can also be cooked on a rack in a very hot oven. Just thread it through, do you?
Thread it through so it doesn't fall off in the oven.
Yeah. Now, you said normally your husband does this.
Yeah, he does that.
So it's the same in Pakistan. The men are at the barbecue.
Yeah, that's right. All right, the other one is ready. That's going to give you beautiful flavour, the cold flavour. And it's really nice and healthy because you're not using any oils. You just have to turn it around a little bit. All right, that's ready.
That looks so amazing, doesn't it?
That's one bit.
Ooh. That is incredible you can do that at home.
That's ready.
Ready? Good. That is so much better than any tandoori chicken I've ever had.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. There's very little food available in restaurants from the remote northwest frontier of Pakistan, the provinces of Baluchistan and Sindh. But Basil Daniell remembers the delicious little dumplings from the region from street stalls as he was growing up, and now whips them up for parties.
Easy to throw together, easy to make, and people love it.
And very pure Pakistani.
And yep, straight off the boat, Pakistani. Just a tad bit of oil, not too much.
Vegetable?
Vegetable oil. If you had ghee, ghee would be the traditional thing to do. Next, I'll add the mince and brown the mince. I'm just waiting for the water to reduce a bit, and I'll add the onions, and we'll brown the onions. Add the garlic, salt, and I've got the ground coriander, ground cumin, a little bit of chili. It's really important that the spices cook, otherwise you get that yucky raw spice taste. Now we've just let the mince come down a bit so it's not so hot, it's just been cooked. We've got the wonton wrappers. So there's one wrapper, a spoonful in the middle. That's a lot in that wrapper. So moisten it so it's nice and moist. You run your finger, see it changes colour, the wrapper, because it is wet. And you know it's wet. If it's not wet, it won't stick as well. Okay, pinch opposite corners in the middle, and just pinch them and run your finger slightly down the end of that. Bring this over and just pinch it slightly, just over the top of that. Bring this over and pinch it slightly just over the top of it. And just a nice tight pinch so it actually stays together. So there you go, you got the little mantu there. Well, you've done your first mantu.
Thank you.
Try to keep the top not as thick so that it doesn't take as long to steam. So what we do is we will place them gently, not touching, in the steamer, and we'll leave them for about 10 minutes to steam. And you'll see the pastry becomes translucent, and then we know they're steamed. Perfectly formed. The ones you made are fantastic. Just
Get
like,
that in again.
Just like they do the old country. Again, the next thing we do is we garnish it, just a hint of yogurt to moisten the top, then some lentils, and then just a sprinkle of coriander.
Put it in your hand.
If you're Pakistani, your taste buds are attuned to having something sweet at the end of a meal. Waqar Younis says sugar-coated fennel seeds are a great fresh taste. Others like something more substantial. Samara Chima learnt how to make carrot halva, but says her mum's is still better.
When I go out to dinner, I look at the sweets menu before I look at the main meals, and then I decide whether I'll have an entree or a main based on the sweets.
Same!
Yeah. You grate the carrots and you place them in a steam lock bag and microwave them for 10 minutes. Okay, so now that the carrot is done, we remove it. Now, whilst we let that cool down a little before opening it, we'll put the ghee into the pan. Now, we've got the pan on high to allow the ghee to melt. 6 or 7 cardamoms, and we crush it, just so we can get the peels off and remove the cardamom from the inside. Gently pull it away. Okay, so then we just pour it into the oil. And we just stir it. You just let it fry for a few seconds. We just allow the flavours to come out. Then we pour the carrot in. So what we're doing, we're just allowing the oil to cook through, and eventually the oil will separate itself from the carrots. So we've got some almonds and pistachios, and we cut them up in even pieces. And then we just pour it on and mix it through.
I think a sweet lover could, justify this anytime, don't you reckon?
Oh, yes. I've got great justification for this. So what we do now is add the sugar to make the sweet sweet. And just mix that through. You take a tablespoon of ghee.
Samara makes a cheats version of the reduced milk needed for the recipe using ghee softened in the microwave, cream and milk powder.
Just slightly mix that through.
Oh, look at that.
We pour it into the mixture and mix it through on high. We serve it hot. So we just pour it in. And lastly, what we do, we just sprinkle some cut up almonds and pistachios.
Smells so beautiful. So you eat it at this temperature?
Best served warm.
Oh, good.
What do you think?
That's really nice.
Yeah?
I was sort of thinking it'd be like carrots that you have at main course, but this is completely different.
And very sweet too.
It's yummy. On our next safari, the smoky delights of Croatian food. Simple, rustic and incredibly delicious.
What?
Because Mum couldn't spoon and she probably don't think.
You gave me this whole thing.
I'm shaming her. On camera too.
You're right.
I know, I know.
You're right.